Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. Are you a big gamer who wants to know way too much about the video game industry? Well, that's what we do here. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to 1981. We're playing all the other games that were released at some point in 1981 in alphabetical order, and we got a couple that we almost missed. Here's Artillery Duel for the TRS-80 color computer. We don't have any other artwork. Well, we have a few screenshots, but no box for this one. Let's pop and play Artillery Duel for the TRS-80 Coco. And right off the bat, we're going to load from disk. Let's see what's in the directory. Yes, we like, well, we don't really like basic. It's a little slower, but it gets the job done. We're going to run and boot it up and see what it is like. It slowly draws it in for us. This is another artillery game. It's not the first, it's not the last, but we played a few this year in 1981, and this one's unique because it looks like joystick doesn't work for us, but this one's unique because you can control the guns at the same time. So it's one player against the computer. I'm on the left side, computer's on the right side, and it's kind of like a live artillery game. Every other artillery game we played to this point is turn-based. I do a turn, the second player does a turn, or the computer does a turn, but this one is just going. How many shots can I fire? Okay, so I can't fire again until the second shot, but okay, the computer got me that time. But right off the bat, it just booted up, computer started to shoot at me. All right, so do you want to play another one? Sure, one more time. But the premise is simple. It's the artillery formula we've seen before, but this one is just simultaneous. So as before, right off the bat, the computer is beginning to fire at me, but it is not two-player. It's just single player. So let's change our trajectory a little bit and fire again. We also aren't getting that cool destructible landscapes. It's only changing the pixel color. And looks like we're getting a slightly lower resolution than the other ones. But the only thing that I would say it has going for it is it's the same time being played. What would have helped, though, is a two-player mode. That would have really pushed this over the top. But in the meantime, I'm going to say it's, considering all the other games we've played up to this point, it's a bad title. Only against the computer, not against another player. The simultaneous one, though, is pretty cool. We'll still say 2 stars for Artillery Duel for the TRS-80 color computer. And then one more that we want to we don't want to miss is Battlefleet for the TRS-80 color computer. Let's take a look at Battlefleet, released at some point in 1981. Let's see what Battlefleet is. So like before, we have to... Oh, another one in basic. Nice. There we go. Comes right into it. It runs, yes! After all fingers and toes are crossed. You never know for sure with these home computers. We got an intro. That's nice. There you go. Battlefleet. For the TRS-80 color computer. You're now Admiral Commanding. Please submit your name. Alright. Hello, Admiral Chrono. I am Rear Admiral TRS-80CC, commanding the Prom Fleet. We 1 players or 2 players? Sure, we'll be 2 players. Select your opponent's name. Hey! From the chat, L. Curtis B. Admiral L. Curtis B, welcome. 2 sizes of playing field or grid are available to play. We got small or large. We'll do small this time, so typing 1. You can also choose the game plan. Do we want alternating turns or each ship afloat to fire? Nice, so they got 2 different game modes. We'll do alternating turns. It's time to enter your ships. The fleet consists of 9 ships, 2 aircraft carriers, 3 battleships, 4 destroyers. They're 4, 3, and 2 squares long. Wait a second, it's Battleship, the board game. You enter them in this order. So Admiral Chrono, you may enter your ships first. Yes, it's Battleship. That's it. Nice. So I'm able to control the grid or move the square around the grid. And when I want to lay a ship down, it looks like, yes, you just hit enter to place your ships on the field. And depending on how many you place, like you can see, I just did a 3 ship there. Oh, it won't let me complete until I do the whole thing. Okay, got it. But you put all your ships down and then let the other person go. And then it's a battle ship. The board game that you could play. There you go. 1 ship's down, and we go on to the next one. And place your other ship down. We haven't played too many of these. Only a handful of battleship video games. think it'll be another one. Yep, 4 down. The only thing that's tricky about this is if you play with 2 people, you have to, look away while they do their turn and then look back whenever they come back. But yes, it's the cool feature about this one is you can do diagonally placed ships. So if I wanted to place this and this, which I can't think of off the top of my head any other battleship video games that you could play diagonally placed ships. But we're going to play a lot of battleship type games on the channel. So maybe in the future more will come up. But this is the first one I've ever seen that you could place diagonally placed ships. But there we go. All we're doing is setting up the board. And if you've ever played the battleships before, it's a tactical game, but kind of bare bones, but very, very fun to play because you're attacking a grid that you don't know is occupied by a ship or not. And then they'll tell you if you hit on that slot or you miss on that slot. And then you just keep going back and forth until you can survive and hopefully kill the other player's ships before they destroy yours. So there you go. Great game for the color computer for 2 players too. So that's pretty cool. So for the time, it's not really doing anything to push or go further than we played before. I'm going to go ahead and do average for the time. We'll do 3 stars for Battlefleet. Great having a battleship game that you can play. All right, so now let's breeze by all the other releases we've seen up to this point and catch up to where we were before, which was all the way down in Crosswords. There we go. So this is what we played last time. Let's press forward and see what our next game is. After Crosswords, we have, yes, Crush, Crumble, and Chomp. If you were here on the Apple II episode, we played the first Crush, Crumble, and Chomp that we could verify when the release date was. And now we have 2 other versions, which is the Atari home computer and the Atari or the Tandy TRS-80. So these other 2 versions, we could have put them at the same time as the Apple II. We just knew for sure the Apple II was released before these. But these were advertised a lot. For the magazines we have seen on the channel, they've already been heavily advertised. We're going to check out the TRS-80 first. So this is Crush, Crumble, and Chomp for the TRS-80. At this point, it's about Model 3 we'd be playing on. Let's take a look at the box for Crush, Crumble, and Chomp, the movie monster game. Interesting artwork. It's like a giant serpent when we're kind of looking for Godzilla as the main monster. So I don't know why they did. There we go. There's the advertisement for Crush, Crumble, and Chomp. Got Godzilla tearing everything up. And they kind of make it like a movie monster computer game. The first monster movie video game. Now, I think that's all we have for artwork on the TRS-80. We do have a manual this time. So check this out. This is the Crush, Crumble, and Chomp movie monster game manual. When we played on the Apple II, this is not what you'd expect. You're not controlling a dinosaur or a kaiju or Godzilla all the way. You're not just controlling them directly. It's a strategy game. So you have to know which commands to type in for each monster. So let's breeze through the manual here for Crush, Crumble, and Chomp. There we go. How to load Crush, Crumble, and Chomp. There we go. For the TRS-80, we don't need that one. There's the Apple as well. And then we come through a proclamation. In the name of phantasmal powers that guard the gates of... What is this? The magician... Wait, this isn't about Crush, Crumble, and Chomp. Accept the challenge. Oh, it's an ad. It's an ad for Dragon's Eye, which is a different game. That's funny. So in the manual is an ad. Nice. Crush, Crumble, and Chomp. Against what city do you crave to wreak revenge? Do you hunger for the Big Apple? Lunch on New York? Can't control the burning desire to consume the Pentagon? Dine in D.C.? Fed up with cheap imports? Tokyo, perhaps? Be the deadly amphibian who leaves trails of poisonous nuclear pollution while smashing streetcars with single blow of your scaly tail. How about a lifeless but lifelike mechanical gizmo reprogrammed by zero population growth professionals for the destruction of all things earthly? So this is about, you got 6 different demonic beasties and more if you have the disc. So we'll be loading this up not on cassette, we'll be loading this up on disc. And there's also people coming after you, the National Guard, tanks, artillery, military that's coming for you to take you down. This is the first example of a video game where you are controlling a monster that you can move around. Now, not directly, it's a strategy game. So don't get too excited about the action part. It is a slower paced game, but the first of its kind. So there you go. Let loose the beast within you. Stomp and scream, crush and crumble, mash and rip and smash. Combat urban blight, protest population growth, and set back civilization half a century without leaving your living room. Crush, Crumble, and Chomp gives you a chance to recreate just about any monster movie ever made. Only this time you write the script. You direct the action. You get to be the star, the real star, the monster. Any monster, every monster. You can be the giant amphibian Goshzilla, leaving a corrosive tail of radioactive waste in your wake as you slither out the river into an unsuspecting metropolis. Emerge from the murky depths as the Kraken, which is funny because when we played it on the Apple II, I was building our own monster named the Kraken and didn't even realize that they had a pre-programmed Kraken you could play as. You can also be Arachnus, you can be the Blob, you can be Machismo, which is a giant robot, Mantra, and then Pulverized Washington, Congress, the Big Apple. Looks like definitely for North America, all the locations you're going to be tearing up. You can even play Dr. Frankenstein and create your own creature. So there's our credits. Game designs, John Freeman, J.W. Connolly. Way to go, John and J.W. And then the programming, the manual, artwork. Lots of people involved in this one, which is rare for the time in 1981. Probably because this was heavily advertised. So you can see it's copyright and automated simulations incorporated. Not SSI. It is a simulation game, but not done by SSI. Lots of people involved for this game. And then you can see this is a very, very large manual. 45 pages for everything. So we're just going to do a quick breeze of how to play. So it explains how you start. If you have the cassette version of Crush, Crumble, and Chomp, it'll ask how long you played. And then it also says, when was the last time you clean and demagnetize the heads of your cassette player to check if they were properly aligned, which is the question we haven't asked ourselves in 1981, but I guess you did. Did you make sure that your heads are cleaned and demagnetized before you play the game? So it says, it's got to get these things done. If you can bend steel with your bare paws and swat helicopters with a flick of your scaly tail, you can certainly clean the heads of a little cassette player. And then the disk drive people, don't laugh. There's a few things that could go wrong with your machine that needs to be cleaned periodically too. So they're giving us, in the beginning of the manual, cleaning and upkeep of your disc and cassette players. That's hilarious. Now that that's done, you should locate the sheet of special loading instructions on your particular computer version and read it carefully. So after that, you have the loading instructions, which we breeze by because this is going to load automatically for us. The rules of the game are programmed into the memory. So if you don't play it perfectly the first time, they tell you that's all right. Monsters make mistakes. This game has a sense of humor and rampaging fun. It's not a cool chess battle of wits. You can also go berserk with the most fun in your game package. So read on. And so a very comical opening. But it then goes into talk about all the details about the game, like sound, if you want to have sound, yes or no. And then you want to continue after saving, how fast you want the game to run. And then monsters. So if you have the disc version, you can create your own monster and build your own monster, which isn't unique. We had another game where you were programming your own robots by Silas Warner. But to do this in a computer game still is revolutionary. So cool. So there's all the features that come in the game. Goshzilla, Kraken, Arachnus, the Glob, Machismo, Mantra. Most likely trying not to do copyright infringement, I guess, on who it is. So you type the number you want and then hit the return key, and it shows you all their stats. All those letters represents what they are if you were to build them yourself. Because if you build your own, you can pick between the carcass, and there's all the examples of what kind of carcass the animal has, and then it explains what they are. So the manual breaks down everything if you're going to build your own monster. So cool. And then you can also do different abilities, and those are all here. Jumping, flying, breathing fire, immolating, stomping, obliterating, atomize. And we saw all this when we built our monster on the Apple II. It was a little cumbersome, though, for the gameplay because you have to know which controls to move the monster. All right, so if we go down, it has the key for everything else that they're going to talk about in the game. If the monster can swim or not, healing. And then they break down the objective of the game is to destroy everything. So they give you a map wherever you start. If you're in New York, for example, you just need to blow up everything and destroy everything. All right, so let's move down to how to score and play, because then they talk about the cities and then what all is involved. And this is an example of a map of one of the cities. There you go, New York City. And then they show you all the landmarks, buildings, skyscrapers, parks, power plants, bridges, and so forth. So they tell you all the things you need to destroy. And then as the monster, you need to destroy those. Well, you're going to have opposition. You have to make sure you take care of all the military. And look at this. They even have all the maps for us. Washington, D.C., Tokyo. And then you even have scenarios in the game, which is another new revolutionary video game trope. We have only seen scenarios in other strategy games that SSI's put out. It's still very new concept for the video game world, where they say, hey, do you want to play War of the Worlds scenario? And they build and start you off with London, Washington, or Breakfast at Tiffany's, or Godzilla versus the Smog Monster, so you can build or load up scenarios. All right, so then it goes into talking about how to destroy everything. And this is where it gets a little tricky, because you expect, like, if I was going to play this game now, I'm thinking I'm going to take the joystick, move Goshzilla around, and then push a button, and then that's the attack or destroy button. But no, you have to know the command to type of how to do everything. So it's explaining how you destroy different items and what you do to destroy them. So it's very much a tactical game. How you move the monster around and what you do. Oh, they have a reference to Them. Anybody know Them? The ant movie? Them! The giant ants. Love them. Gotta love them. So it explains here, while the game is going, you have wind to think about, how healthy you are, then your status of the monster. Lots of stuff that goes into this game. So very, very detailed. Yeah, you go, what comes naturally to crush, crumble, and chomp? And then they have all the commands. Look at this. This is turning your monster, use R and L. Turning your head only is a different command. And then jumping, flying, descending, how to move your monster around. You have to use cardinal directions to move around. How to grab humans, eat them, crumble things, stomp things, obliterate things, use your tail, web. Look at this. You're almost using every command on the keyboard, or every letter on the keyboard. Amazing. So that's only halfway through the manual of Crush, Crumble, and Chomp. We're going to get a quick taste of the TRS-80 one, and then I'm going to play a little bit more of the the Atari home computer version. So here we go. This is Crush, Crumble, and Chomp for the TRS-80 Model 3, released at some point in 1981, maybe around the same time as the Apple II version. All right, so right off the bat, we need to load this up, and this one's different because this one's running basic. It also needs memory protection, so we have to do some really nice commands to protect the memory here. Now that the memory is protected, now we load it up with basic. All right, fingers crossed. Does it run? Come on, run! Don't crash on us. Yes, an MS-DOS for all the pain and frustration. Welcome back to 1981. All right, we got it. So it booted up to the title screen. Automated simulations. Hit any key to begin. Do we have sound? I don't know if we have sound or not. We'll say yes. Do you want to restore a game in progress? No, this is our first time. How fast do we want this? We want this fast. How fast will the game run? Do you want to play one of the feature characters, or do you want to grow your own? That's a cool way to put it. Let's do feature F for features. And then who do you want to play as? Let's play as Goshzilla. All right, so then it says, what kind of objective do you want to complete? Let's make it destruction. So we're going to do 4 for destruction. And then where do we want to go to destroy everything? If we're Goshzilla, we got to do Tokyo, right? So going to Tokyo with Goshzilla, and our goal is destroy everything. How fast does it load is another question on the TRS-80. I don't know for sure. This also is a massive game with complexity, so, oh, here we go. We do have sound. Like it's a movie. Epix presents Goshzilla versus Tokyo. In a world where Tokyo was meant to be destroyed. Starring you as Goshzilla. Co-starring automobiles. Look at those graphics. Panic-stricken mobs is pixels. Police cars. Helicopters. The mad scientist. The National Guard. M48 tanks. 155mm guns. And featuring water. Bridges. Parks. The trees, obviously. Buildings. Skyscrapers. Power plants. Now, if anything, I will say the presentation of this game is top tier. You can tell they worked a lot of time on this. They had a lot of love for it, and there was a team of people that made sure this was presented well. And there we go, we're in. So as the game starts, that's us on the, I can't even tell. We are in the center left. So there's Goshzilla, and it's asking us where we want to go. So if I move right, It crashed on us. I just said hit R to move right, and boom, we already ran out of memory. So I guess memory protection did not help us. But there was a taste of the TRS-80. Not going to be basing our star rating on the crash. It still is an excellent game. We'll say 4 stars for the TRS-80, and let's see what the Atari version is. Man, those home computers are finicky. So here we go. This is the front of the box for the Atari version of Crush, Crumble, and Chomp. Wreak havoc. Spread mayhem and destruction as your favorite monster. And a different screenshot, but better graphic-wise than the black and white TRS-80. Same manual, and then for different versions, we're going to do the basic, not the cassette version. So here we go. Crush, Crumble, and Chomp for the Atari home computer. Considering everything else we've played up to this point, the whole movie motif works really well. It's pretty cool. The other thing, though, is I don't even know if this one's going to run as well. At least Apple II, we could get it to run. It played, but the commands, we just didn't know them at the time. Here we go. Crush, Crumble, and Chomp, the movie monster game. Oh, that's awesome. The background is Night on Bald Mountain. Another public domain song. Do you have an old machine? That is hilarious. This needs to be somewhere on my channel. Do you have an old machine? I've never had a computer ask me that. We're going to say no. No, we don't have an old machine. We have a new machine. Starring civilian cars, fleeing civilians, the police, helicopters, infantry. I mean, look at that. Yeah, animation with the graphics. Big step up from the TRS-80. So tanks, artillery, water. Totally can tell it's water. Parks. Oh, they even look more like parks. And rubble, which we will create as the monster. Then we have low buildings, skyscrapers. See the presentation? They're saying starring fuel depots and flames. Bridges. Because each one of these took a lot of time to get in the game. And the dreaded mad scientist. And of course, you as the monster. There we are. We look much better than we did on the TRS-80. Now, load times, though, I don't know how long this will load. At least TRS-80 was generous. We loaded, but we still crashed. I don't know what will happen on this one. I'll give us a little fast forward to see what happens. Anything? There we go. Oh, how fast do we want to go? Let's go fast. Yes. Do you want to play one of the feature creatures or grow your own? Now, we did grow our own on the Apple II. I'm going to pick the feature creature for this one. And then, what do we want? Let's do it again. Goshzilla. Let's go. And then what objective? Let's go destruction again. And Tokyo. All these options, though, is so impressive. One of the big reasons to have a home computer at the time rather than the console. Console does keep it simple. You can pick up and play. But if you want a lot of options, the computer's where to go. At least for these computer games. So it's building our Tokyo now. It's got the buildings and water. And I want to see if this actually scrolls across the screen. There you go. So wind is east. Healthy. Yeah, we can actually see our dinosaur. Nice. Okay, so we have... Godzilla. I'm just going to call him Godzilla since we're in Tokyo. So if I move right, what happens? Does it move? Yeah, so he turns to the right. And then if I want to fire, does he fire? There you go. Okay, so the game is like every other tactical strategy game we played. It's slower paced. And we can see I can move the head right or left. And I can turn the head right or left. So it's a slower paced attack game. It is not action. So that because of that, though, it's ambitious for the time, and for all the strategy game players that are out there that would want to play it, it's also active. So right now, if I don't make a move, I could have the army coming at me. And so if I want to move, let's keep going left and see what happens. Oh, yeah, turn left. Sorry, go turn back. I mean, turn back right. Any day now. Come on, you can do it, Godzilla. There we go. So you can see how slow-paced the game is. You have to do individual commands to make it move forward. And I don't even forget how to walk forward. But if you wanted to move your head left and right, and then you have to know what attacks your monster can do. We gave you a taste of what the manual was like, how long the manual was. So this would be a game that you would be poring over the manual, checking to see what commands you can do and how you would control and move the monster around. So to move forward, I think it's F to walk forward. Or that's right, you have to use cardinal directions. So if I go west. Yo, you can do it. I believe in you. Yeah, very slow paced. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the wait time is crazy. All right, so again, moving the head left and right, and then because it's Godzilla, you can do, I think, Destruction or Crush Crumble. I'm in the middle of the ocean right now, and you can see we got some different buildings. Oh, and it's doing a time limit, but because each turn is active. If I just sit here and wait too long or take a while, then I might have people coming after me. I think the military's on the way, but we'll go ahead and stop there because the time it takes to learn it requires a lot of work in the manual. We're still going to go for a 4-star game. It is above average because of how ambitious it is and what it does for a strategy game and for its presentation. So Crush, Crumble, and Chomp is a very unique game, a very good game for 1981, if you were in 1981. All right, with that, let's move forward and see what our next game is. We're now still on the Atari home computer, and this is Crypts of Terror. Let's check out Crypts of Terror and see what's up. Starting with the artwork, there is the front of the box by In-Home Software Incorporated. Oh, interesting. Canada. Okay, so released from Canada. There's the back of the box. Beware as you enter the Crypts of Terror. The Crypt of Terror. No one has survived this horror. Only your unrelenting nerve and determination will drive you deeper into the unknown. What lurks in these ancient crypts? At last, we found an adventure with full graphics, sound, and unique for your Atari computer. It's the first adventure game that was completely designed for Atari computers only. Okay, so we won't find it anywhere else? I want to know about that. Graphics are the finest available, using the full potential of the Atari. And there's an advertisement flyer for Crypts of Terror, proof that this is a real game, that this exists. And that is it. Oh wait, no, those were instructions. I thought it was still the box. Let's see. There we go, loading requirements, how to load the game, and then choose your grade. Use the joystick, point the man at a grade, and press the fire button and enter keyword for the grade. The keyword for the first grade, Neophyte, is magic. Wait, there's a password? The password's magic? Once you get into the game, there's no restarts. And then when you're in the game, you have monster strength lowered by you with a sword or a gun. You have your strength lowered by monsters, increased with food. Oh no, food! I'm getting a Calibeth flashbacks. Or by the Tree of Life. And then you get coins. Whoa, first reference of coins ever in a video game. From chests. Exchange for strength from Tree of Life. We've seen treasure and we've seen gold, but coins just makes me think of Super Mario. So ways off. It's only 1981. And then we have shots that can be inside the chest or used in your gun. So to win, you simply get the magic ring of power. Man, Lord of the Rings references all over the place. Then get back to crypt number 1. It's hidden in one of the chests. You'll then learn the keyword for the next grade. If you're playing at the highest one, you'll learn the ultimate secret. What's the ultimate secret? Did they give you the secret of life at the end of this game? And then if you lose with, I think, 3 lives, you finally get the degree grade and you press fire to start a new game. And oh, there's even more. So this is like the inside flap of the not the manual. Like whenever you look at open up a box, sometimes these are in just Ziploc bags. But if you open it up, it had like a fold on the inside. Then we have a map. There's also beasts and chests and the Tree of Life. And then what grade? And then the secret is the ultimate secret's only entrusted to those that are worthy of it and those that can complete the quest at the highest grade. It explains the first step toward unlimited power. Oh man, and there's our cassette tape for Crypts of Terror. Oh wait, is it Crypts or Crypt? Yeah, Crypts of Terror. There's more than one crypt here. All right, here we go. Let's pop in our cassette tape and play. At some point in 1981, we had Crypts of Terror, a Canadian release for the... Oh, this is cassette. Okay, so to load this one up, we got to do C-load. So this will be cassette tape. And run it. Ooh. Immediate sound effects. In-Home Software presents. Look at the presentation of these home computer games. This almost feels like the Atari home version of the THX sound. Just, you know, poorly done. Please wait. Ooh. So cassette tape means we're going to get longer load time, so I'm going to do a few fast forwards just to see what happens. You can see, don't adjust your sound effects. That's just the way cassette tapes sound when they load. And we're still loading, so we're going to fast forward. Oh, here we go. But Crypts of Terror by Daniel J. Dory. Way to go, Daniel. Oh, and it says December 1981. Interesting. So some of these games I don't play ahead of time. And if I did, I would have had this in our December releases for 1981. If that's true, sometimes you can't read everything from the game itself, but cool to know at least. Oh my gosh. All right, so fire to start. We're in. Man, the music or sounds are deafening nonstop. Welcome to the Crypts. Meet the cast. They're giving us constant sound in the background. We have the gun, the chest, the key, the sword, the tree of life. Press fire to start. So it works with joystick. That's true. Very good point. Which is it's kind of tricky, but we do our best to get release dates. So this is you. We look like a person. This is the magic ring of power. We have to find it, get it back to Crypt 1. Good luck. You'll need it. It is using Atari joystick support. That's awesome. All right, so here we go. Choose your grade, and they told us about this when we looked at the flap on the inside. And yeah, joystick is working. As I move up and down, it's giving me the scales, which is nice. Okay, but the sound, man, is crazy. All right, so we want to do Neophyte, and then it asks for the keyword. No, I don't want that. It asks for the keyword, so this one is... magic, I think. Oh man, the sound is stuck in one spot. That's amazing. Oh, but I'm in. It works. Okay, so I am the player now moving to the top. And this works with the Atari joystick, surprisingly. So I'm in the first room, and looks like we have an enemy coming after us. I have a key over here, and there it is, the Tree of Life. So as I move around, it shows... at the bottom, stats that say him, coins. I'm going to pick up this, which looks like a sword. What happens if I... oh, it does work. You just walk over it like Adventure on the Atari VCS. And so I have the sword. Let's see if we can stab this guy. Did it work? Yes, it worked. Oh, he's laying there with a sword in him. Nice. All right, so how do we drop it? Can we push the button? Anything? The sword dropping is not working, or am I pushing the wrong one? There's only one button. We're playing on the one joystick, one button controller, but maybe I just... oh, it is. It's like Adventure. So you just move over something else and you pick up the key automatically. So let's go down here to the chest, and the key works, and we got food from the chest. Nice. All right, it worked. So now it shows... oh, all right, if we want to see inventory, that shows us what's in the chest. We need the constant sound effects. Oh my goodness. All right, so if I go to the sword and come up here, I can go to the next room. Whoa, day 2. What? So now I'm in Crypt 11? Oh, we have another enemy coming after us now? Uh-oh, we dropped the sword. Why? Pick it up. No. Oh, I died, so I couldn't pick up the sword. So I'm getting vibes of Adventure on the Atari VCS, but the sound, listen to the sound. It's crazy. It's going from, it's cataloging day 1. Oh, it's saying what was it going to be in the chest, I guess. I don't know what it's doing now. It's saying contents. And they're breaking down different levels, I guess. And it's still going. Okay, so reset. Now we're back to Crypt 1. It saved the death, so the enemy's still dead, and the key's still there. What happens if I touch the Tree of Life? If I touch the Tree of Life, I'm losing health for some reason. I don't know why. Can I just stand next to it? No, I can't. Okay, so I can go get the key and pick that one up. It's not giving us a sound effect. Oh, I dropped the key. Let's see why. Is it because I went the opposite way? There's a way that I move to drop items, but I'm not sure why. Let's go in the next room, and it didn't change the day by moving to the next room. It's just saying Crypt 2. Alright, and this one has another enemy, the snake. I'm going to go back to the left. I want to see if it's the same room where the sword was dropped, if it remembers. What happens if I push the button? Okay, so standing still, you move to inventory. And I think it's breaking down every room. Because in room 1, we had a chest and myself. Room 2 is the same enemy in the Tree of Life. So this is every crypt. These are the crypts and what's inside the crypts. With even symbols. They have what all the symbols mean at the bottom. Fascinating. So going in these games blind is a little interesting. When you do anything on the home... Oh, no, get the sword. Okay, I barely picked it up. We're going to get in the way where we can knock this guy out this time. There, got him. Oh, so he's got a lot of health. If you look at what it says at the bottom, it has him. He's got 173, and it's cycling a day while we play the game. So it's doing I don't want to say day and night cycle, but it's moving on to another day in real time. So there's some kind of counter that's going on in the background. It looks like this guy's running away. He did. He moved to the next room. Okay, so let's see if I go to the crypt menu. Can I look at it? I'm pushing the button, but it's not working. So we'll go pick up the key down here, open up this chest. It switches back and forth, but we can see what's inside this one. No way. What do you mean, no way? Oh, maybe it's the wrong key? Oh, that's just cruel then. Okay, what happens if I touch this gravestone up here? No, nothing there. Okay, well, I'm going to pick up my sword and then move my way around. So when you play these games bare bones, you never played them before, it's very tricky to pick up and go. I know we read the manual and we try to get our best idea, but computer games have been the most difficult because of the complexity. Most console games and arcade games... Oh, it switched sides for me. That's weird. But most computer games and arcade games, they allow you just to play it right off the bat, and it's easy. But these computer games, you can see what we got ourselves into. Look, we're on multiple rooms with enemies, and we have stats now, and it's changing the day on us? That's just bizarre. So it's 1981, we're playing a game, and the game is progressing through days as we play it. That's crazy. Do we hit him? Okay, so he got a hit on us, but we're way low on health right now. So it says we have 8, so we might die and come to another room. I like the idea, though. We're moving room to room, and you can see we're now in Crypt 22. We have another enemy coming at us. Oh my gosh, though. The enemy has 499 health, and we have 8. So we're going to go in anyway. Let's stab him. Looks like he's trying to run away. Okay, he got a hit on us to hit us a little bit, but my sword is not working on this guy. I wonder if it's some other... Oh, no, wait. It just knocked 1 point of health down. What? Now I'm wondering if we're playing a role-playing game. Like, we're actually going to level up and get stronger. That guy is way too powerful. Okay, where we are now. We're in Crypt 32. We have another enemy at the top. And so the level of difficulty we're playing on is the easiest level of difficulty. So keep that in mind. And after we finish this level of difficulty, they're going to give us a password to play the next level of difficulty. And if we play all the levels of difficulty, finding the Ring of Power, and continuing to the end of the game, then the manual says that we'll have absolute power, which that is hilarious. In 1981, having an Atari computer and then being a kid who's like, I want absolute power, Mom. Let me finish playing the game so I can get to the 7th level. And the days are going through. We're playing and the days passing by. Wow, that's incredible. Okay, so for this, this is another amazing game for the time. Wasn't expecting this, at least this much detail, to play the Crypts of Terror. It's another game that I would like to spend a little bit more time on to get the hang of it and get used to how it plays and the elements involved. But definitely above average. I'm thinking around 4 stars. If anybody in chat wants to chime in, it did have like a tile-based movement, a little slower for movement, but Yeah, it looks like the rooms will run out eventually, like when you go from room to room. But we were playing on the easy difficulty, and each level up is going to increase like the number of rooms and the difficulty of the monsters. But we already ran into someone who had hundreds of health more than us. It also wasn't a full-on role-playing game, which is bizarre because I thought in 1981 there was this big difference between a role-playing game and an adventure game, but now we're already seeing games that are blending them. We're seeing some role-playing elements in games that are adventure-esque, and then we also are seeing games that are including role-playing with elements of other things. So I'm amazed that we're blending genres already. Yeah. I'm amazed that this exists. So for 1981, with what we're able to play, I'm going to go ahead and bump it up a half star. So I'm going to do I'm going to say 4.5 stars for Crypts of Terror. I was surprised of what this was doing and how we're able to play. So way to go, Canada. All the way from Canada in 1981. That was Crypts of Terror. All right, so after that, let's see what our next game is. Where are we going and what's happening next? We're now going to the Apple II, and this is Cyborg. Let's take a look at the artwork for Cyborg. Whoa, by Sentient Software. Do you enjoy science fiction? Do you like getting thoroughly involved in a good story? Do you delight in complicated plot, especially when all the pieces come together in a remarkable but totally logical conclusion? If you can answer yes to any of these questions, you're apt to be excited about this as a new adventure. Cyborg introduces the most exciting advances in adventuring since the origin adventuring began. The whole wonderful thing. So Cyborg is a unique approach to gaming with no treasures and no score. It contains real-time graphic simulation, character development, animals you can talk to, opinions from the cyborg, and a consistency found in no other adventure. This is written by Michael Berlin. Way to go, Michael. Creator of Sentient Software's Topos. He's the author of 2 science fiction books published by Bantam Books. Okay, so he's a science fiction author that's writing this game. And we're also going to see Topos, or Topos, which is an extraterrestrial adventure later on as well. And we'd have no disc, but yes, this is a text adventure game. Apparently the most advanced of its kind. We'll be the judge of that. All right, let's pop in Cyborg, released at some point in 1981. All right, so this is another game that's cracked so we could play it. Sentient Software gives us Cyborg. I can't locate the exact cause of our malfunction. Our power units have been so badly drained, both our long-term and short-term memories have been damaged. My sensors won't be substantial help to us until we start recharging. The only data available to either organic or silicon memories reside on a single chip. You and I are permanently linked. We are separate entities sharing an organic and metal shell. 2 minds in 1 body, a cyborg. We must find power or cease to exist until we find answers. We must work as a team, a unit. Command me with 2 words, a verb and noun, and we'll get along. So an interesting take on the adventure trope, because we've seen other text adventure games say, I am an idiot, please tell me what to do in simple terms. So they're trying to, there's other adventure games we've seen justify the 2-word text parser. And so this is a great idea, making it so that you're half machine, half man. And as the man part, you're telling the machine part what to do. Do we want to continue a save game? No, we do not. All right, so we're ready to start. So cool idea with the story, making the cyborg part of the game of what you do. So we got scanners on, cyborg level, damage, body scan reveals we're carrying nothing. Area scan says we're at a T intersection on the east-west dirt path through a forest. A northern path leads through a grove of trees. A tiny lizard wearing a silver spacesuit stands by the path, leaning on a tinier crutch, and groans, "Food, food for the truth." If a lizard were to talk, that's how it would talk in my mind. All right, so if we say look, what happens? Because I guess that's it. The area scan is telling us. You don't know what look means? Oh no, if it doesn't understand look, then we're in big trouble for this text adventure game. All right, so if we can we talk to the lizard? Lizard? Talk lizard? Do we speak lizard? Or maybe that's all we get. Unable to comply. Vocabulary chip scan reveals word talk unknown. Oh, great. It doesn't understand look. It doesn't understand talk. What about inventory? I think we say, yeah, body scan already. Yeah, it doesn't know inventory because every scene it's going to say body scan reveals what we're carrying. And right now we're carrying nothing. All right, so let's go north. I'm intrigued, though, if it's written by a science fiction author. So there you go. Now we're on a north-south path through a huge forest of trees. The path is smooth and level as if it had been here first, and the forest has been planned around it. We cannot see the end of the forest in any direction. Okay, keep going north. So we're going through the forest. Couldn't talk to the lizard. Don't know what look means or inventory. We're standing by the bole of a twisted tree in a north-south path. The forest surrounding us is endless, going in all directions as far as we can see. Get tree. What happens if I say get? Unable to comply task. We can't get the tree. It's beyond our power to do that. Eat tree. Do cyborgs eat? To eat the tree would accomplish nothing, except maybe making us very ill. It understood us. Yes. I'm amazed that the common words it didn't get or didn't understand. All right, so we'll just keep going north. I know there's something with the tree. And I wonder if we learn, because we're a cyborg, different words as we move on. Now we're on a north-south path through the trees. The forest is endless, yet directly to the north is a doorway. It's as if a mirror had been placed in our path, a mirror reflecting not what lies behind us, but a huge wooden-floored room. What? Crazy. Can we keep going north as the doorway in the way? An invisible force scans us, then stops us from proceeding. No way. Everyone, we have reached an invisible wall in a text adventure game. I can't believe it. I thought we'd see invisible walls when we got to 3D games, but no. There is an invisible force that stops us from proceeding, but they don't explain it. It's like an invisible wall in a text adventure game. Okay, what about open door? Can I get to the door? Or is it this mirror that is the invisible wall? I don't know the word. You don't know the word door. Oh, wait, open doorway? Or no, wait, it has a doorway. It's already open. It's through the mirror that's reflecting what lies behind. Yeah, you don't know the word doorway. You just said doorway. Man, 1981 text, two-word parser text adventure games are brutal. All right, so we have nowhere to go north. We can't go north. I guess we go south back where we came. So we went one direction through the forest to a mirror, and now we're back at the twisted tree. And we can't eat the tree. We can't look at the tree because we don't know what look is. So right off the bat, I know we don't deal too long with text adventure games. Cyborg is not impressing me with how well the two-word text parser is. So you can see here, right now it's not giving us the same detail that we had before. So let's go south again. We also don't have the manual, but from what I remember just reading in magazines, that Cyborg had a unique command set that you were communicating with a computer. So if I say scan, let's see. So if I say scan, there you go. So it gives you more detail. Scan is like look. And so you can see it's giving us the broader picture of what we see by the lizard. So if we go south, now we can go east and west. Okay, so let's go west. Come on, Cyborg. You got to have more than that. We're in a narrow east-west dirt path through a forest of trees. Okay, keep going west. How big does it let us go? We're at a junction on the east-west dirt path. The south leads to a mass of tangled vegetation, while an open field lies to the north. The smells to the south are sweet and alluring. Well, we got to go to the south then, right? We got to go to the sweet and alluring smells. So later on, we're going to have text adventure games with scratch and sniff. And I'm serious. You get to a certain point and it says, scratch and sniff this area. And then you scratch and sniff this spot. So it just makes me think of when it tells us to smell, uh-oh. Out of nowhere, a snake with 2 heads and 3 arms appears. It spins and whirls before us and emits a sweet, powerful odor that mesmerizes us for a moment. It spits venom at us, which lands on our face and burns. Medical scanners reveal our cyborg level is here, our damage is there, our bio level. We're in a small clearing on the south, blah, 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 blah. Thicket is impossible. A vicious snake is lurking nearby. If we have no ways to attack, then that means this snake most likely will kill us. Can we kill? What happens if I say kill? If I don't understand the word kill, we deliver glancing wounds. The snake moves with incredible speed, bears 2 rows of razor fangs, and goes for our ankles. We jump back, but the snake appears undaunted. It circles to the left and closes in. The snake's jaws close on our ankle and introduce a quick-acting poison into our system. Everything is getting dark. Now, this kind of writing is one of the reasons people play text adventure games. That is pretty impressive. So take a look at the damage. We have another crack at this if you like. I'm not promising anything, but I think I can get back to a point where our damage is within acceptable range. Do you want me to help you? Yes. So the computer side of our cyborg is wanting to help us. Thanks for the chance. Let's see if they can work as a team and do better this time through. Unfortunately, I couldn't get us exactly back to where we were. As a matter of fact, and then it gives us a description of where we are. So they brought us back to the lizard wearing the spacesuit, so we couldn't attack the snake, but at least the cyborg side of us brought us back so we didn't fully die, I guess. And can we give food? No, we don't have anything, so we can't give any food to the lizard. Unable to accomplish, can't give the food. We're not carrying food, so we got to go find food. And then from here we could go east to a different direction. We're on an east-west path, and now the path stretches from the horizon to horizon. As it does, the endless forest. The air is still, the sky cloudless, and the forest silent. Man, see, you really need a really good narrator for this. If it's all in your head, I know everyone has a narrator in their head. Everyone has somebody. Who's yours? We need to get Leonard Nimoy and to have more adventure games that he would narrate, but sadly that won't come to pass. All right, with that, we'll go ahead and stop Cyborg. It is interesting. It has some things that go well for it and some things that do not. We did have a little hiccup compared to other adventure games where it was taking a while to load. And that's usually not a good sign for, at this time, to have to wait a little bit after you do a command. We are seeing faster and faster systems like the IBM PC text adventure games that's instant. All the text comes up immediately. But for the time, it's still about average. I wasn't going to go any lower just because it is written well, but the two-word text parser is a little weak. You have to know exactly how the Cyborg works. But we'll do 3 stars because of all the other adventure games and all the other computer games. This is still about average for 1981. All right, and with that, let's see what our next game is. After Cyborg, this is Cypher Bowl for the Atari. Another one for the, we're playing Atari games all day on the computer here. All right, so let's take a look at the artwork for Cypher Bowl. It's football for the Atari. 250 play combinations, realistic sound effects, punt, blitz, intercept, kick, pass, rush. Superb graphics. Joysticks are required for 2 football lovers. I don't know what's going on with the artwork, though. Is it watercolor? Or who's doing that artwork? It's pretty bare bones with just a screenshot, and that's it. That's all we have for artwork. For different versions, we're going to load up an auto boot version of it. So this is, at some point in 1981, Cypher Bowl, a football game for your Atari computer. Let's pop in 2 controllers just to see how it runs. So right off the bat, press any key. Does joystick work? It does. Wow, it just works with joystick right off the bat. So I'm on one side. I can choose what, I'm picking the play I want, so the other person doesn't know. And then for defense, they now pick their play, and then we're in. It's now playing where I'm as offense, and they're ready to play. And then whenever you say go, you're in. Look at this. We're playing football on the Atari. Oh, and I just got sacked. So it's football. It started us off quickly. We were able to pick our different moves we want. Do we have a manual for this one? We do not. So it's got different plays, and at this point, you just move your joystick to pick the play. And we've seen that before. You just move the joystick and the play you want. And then whenever you're ready, we form up. And then when you say you're ready to go, go and hike. Oh, am I still on offense? Oh, I'm having to play with 2... yeah, I'm having to play 2 joysticks at the same time. But it's 2-player only, not computer. And it's not a full football team. But it's still pretty cool that it's a computer game that's an action sports game. It works. And so let's do again, pick the play on offense and defense. And then when both players are ready, they both have to respond with their joystick. And then when you're ready to go, you can see we're going. And then we got sacked or fumbled, so then we switch sides. Harder to play with 2 people at a time, but you can kind of see what you understand what's going on. It's a football game where you can see how it works. They form up. I'm amazed how easy it was to get going. All right, so we're going again. I want to throw it. I'm gonna have to try to do a rushing one because you have to be able to play with the second player to throw the ball. All right, so going again, forming up whenever we're ready, and now hike. Oh, wait, did I call a timeout on accident? Or I think that's, yeah, okay. You have to move the joystick a certain way, and there's only one button on the Atari joystick, so if you move the joystick a certain way, you can call a timeout. That's funny. No, I don't want a timeout. Stop. There we go. And then go for it. Run! So I had one player open because of the play I called. They were ready to catch the ball. Crazy. All right, so this now is... Okay, so now we're one player. Oh, no, I don't want that. Go away. I pushed in the wrong one for the virtual keyboard on the emulator, and it distracted everything. Do we have another fumble? No, we didn't. Okay, good. All right, last chance, last play. Form up, and then whenever you're ready, both players... I'm going to play 2 controllers at the same time here. We're going. Oh, man. Okay, so it's a really easy pick-up-and-play football game for the time. In fact, of all the football games we played up to this point, I'm going to say Cypher Bowl is one of the best football games. The only other one I can think of is in the arcades by Atari, but that one still had graphics that were using X's and O's. This is still simplified, but it's still a very, very good football game. It brought us right into the action. So for all the games we played, it's above average. I'm going to go 3.5 stars because you can kind of make out what's happening. And it works. It works well for 1981. So above average for Cypher Bowl. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Oh, that's true. The low-res characters, maybe because there's so many at a time on the screen, but you can understand what's happening when they form up and they're ready to play. And the ball is a very blocky sprite. So it works. All right, with that, we're going to put our video game playing on pause. We're now playing everything else in alphabetical order in 1981. So we just ended the C's. We finally got through the letter C's. We have so many more games to play, but who knows what's going to happen and where we'll go or what we'll see next. But it'll be a blast. We will catch you next time. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we miss any games along the way. This video would not be possible without RetroArch and Launchbox. Please tell your friends there's some crazy guy out there trying to play every single video game. You can always check out Chronologically Gaming on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We will catch you next time.